Hi everybody, welcome to Elder Scrolling Online. This is episode number 1. We have the first official episode tonight. I am Joe the Widget Wilson. I am one of the 4 hosts for this show, and I am joined, as always, well, now is the first time really, honestly, for the full official show, technically. I am joined by Steve, aka Ravlox.
Hey there, everybody. Steve, and I've been known for Revelox for about 20 years. Since the game has gone live, been concentrating on crafting and primarily a completionist when I play. I prefer PvP, although I've been known to take part in Alliance versus Alliance.
And I am joined by my deep voice co-host himself, Mr. Fred, aka Baranon.
Hey Joe, how you doing tonight, my friend?
Doing fantastic. I'm excited to do this show. I've been looking forward to it all week.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't stop twitching.
It's showtime.
Let's do it, right? Let's do it.
If you were watching the video, you would have been terrified by that. All right.
Glad I wasn't watching it then.
Right. We are joined by Vince, aka Karneth.
Hello, everyone. Good to meet you. I've been playing Elder Scrolls games for about 20 years now, starting with Arena, so got quite a bit of experience with the TES universe, and I'm going to be collecting news for your wonderful enjoyment here.
And speaking of news, we got a lot to cover tonight. We had a second major content patch released this week. We will be going into not the nitty-gritty details, because that would literally take us a 2-hour podcast, because there was so much included. So we broke it down for you guys into nice, healthy little digestible chunks. And we will talk briefly about it, because we have a full show for you guys. What this podcast is all about is a fan podcast. No haters here, guys. You won't get hate. You won't. Oh, this game's so broken, I quit. Nope, not how this works. We are legitimate fans of this show, of this game. I was about to say show there. That was going to be my oops.
Well, we're fans of the show, too.
Well, yeah, because we're recording it.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we have 4 fans, right?
At least.
So this show is all about us talking about the game, giving you guys tips, tricks, helpful stuff, entertainment based off of Elder Scrolls Online, including the news. We have like random little segments that we're going to do each and every week for you, whether it be a storytelling from Fred, a joke from Fred here and there. We might do an add-on spotlight. We're gonna be doing quite a few of those probably for the next few episodes at least. Just hitting the really important add-ons that we think you guys should check out that could really improve your gameplay and performance if you want. We're going to be hitting up stuff like what's going on the PTS, the public test server. There's nothing going on right now, so that's going to be out of the show tonight. But that's going to be one of those random things. We're going to be doing our week in game, which you'll hear about every week, about little tidbits about what we're doing in our personal gameplay. So you guys can see what we're doing, or actually hear what we're doing. We'll give you guys the tip and trick of the week on little tidbits that we discovered that we felt like we needed to share with you guys. We will be doing listener emails each and every week as we get them. All right? We will be doing at least 3 emails every week, so send your emails in to us. I'll give you the email address at the end of the show with your questions, your comments, and we will choose 3 emails to read on the air and discuss. We will be doing something that's really awesome. We're going to be starting it this week. This is what no other ESO podcast does that I am aware of. We will be doing a weekly guild spotlight. So if you want to have your guild spotlighted on the air, a little advertisement if you will, just send us in an email with a little blurb about your guild and why we should spotlight it. And we might choose you for that week and talk about your guild. And we also will periodically do little specials. This is where things get goofy. Little skits. Today we have a very special for you guys. I got together with a guildie of mine by the name of Callie. Callie Max, she is awesome. Has an awesome accent. You got to hear her accent. It's awesome. She was so kind to sit down and do the skit. We went and performed something called the Lusty Argonian Maid. Any ESO fans out there should know what that is. And we did volumes 1 and 2. I heard rumors of a volume 3 floating around ESO, so I mean that might come in the future. But first, let's get in to the news. And I'm going to ask Steve to start us off.
Okay, well, second major content patch is out. Patch 1.2.3, launched Tuesday on the 24th. And here are some of the highlights. We have the veteran Crypt of Hearts dungeon, and it's now open, which the Lich, and I can't pronounce that name,
Hey.
Nerian?
Yeah, Vince, weren't you pricing this?
Nerieneth.
Nerieneth. Yeah, that was it.
He would know that too.
He would.
Yeah. So he's returned to inflict endless agony. The spirits he's trapped in the original Crypt of Hearts. You'll fight Mysterious Daedra and ultimately the Lich himself to free these souls in an entirely new content experience. Veteran Crypt of Hearts continues the story begun in the original dungeon, and this veteran dungeon is intended to be a challenge for groups of veteran ranked 12 players, and I can tell you that it is.
Yeah. Yeah, some of our guys here on the show even, I believe you three, or was it just Steve and Vince that did it?
Three of us on
Okay,
the
three of
PTS
you.
server tested it out, and goodness gracious, that was one tough dungeon.
It was.
I thought for sure it was a 12-man dungeon, not a level 12 dungeon. But I was wrong, obviously.
Yeah. No, I can't wait for that challenge. I was excited to hear how hard it was. I just hit Veteran 12.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hold on, I gotta do my soundboard. So I'm gonna try this again. Ready? I just hit Veteran 12. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right, you're too kind. So that was my biggest
You
achievement.
don't have an ego, do you?
No, not at all. It's very, very
I
tiny.
didn't think so.
No, it's not there.
No.
But my whole point was, I was just kind of segueing, okay?
Yeah, have fun.
Is the fact I look very much forward to getting into this dungeon and getting my butt whooped by it. So I will be
You'll
trying
have
it out at
happen,
some point.
believe me.
Yeah. So I'm excited about this. Next up we have our FOV slider. That's the first person view slider, or field of view slider. And that allows you to change the field of view while playing in first person mode. So zooming in and out. Right?
Correct.
Cool. The slider settings can be found in settings and camera and under the first person section. And your settings will be saved per character. So if you change it for one, it will not be the same for each one. So you have to go and change it per character if that's all you like to do is play first person. Which I believe that is something that Steve likes to do, correct?
That is correct. I keep mine pretty much all the time out at 130, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that's right. It
Yeah,
goes
I
from
like it.
70 to 130.
If you zoom it out to 130, it's almost as wide of a view as if you're fully zoomed out in third person. It's quite a nice view distance there.
I'll have
Yeah.
to try it then, I guess.
Yeah,
You might have talked me
Worth a
into it.
try.
give it a shot. It can't hurt.
Yeah, what the heck? What's the worst that can happen? I die again. It's only a death, but
Yeah, right.
No,
Vince,
it's really good. It really is.
well, okay. I believe you.
I'm going to have to take Steve's word on it because he's a first person guy. So he says
Yeah.
it's good. I'll take his word on it. I play third person religiously, so probably the same as you, Fred.
Yeah, the same way. I like being able to see what's around me.
Same here.
All right, Newsmaster, what's next on the list for our notes?
Okay, we have weapons and armor found in the world can now be picked up and equipped. So the items are low quality but can be used if needed. They do sell for 0 gold, so you're not going to want to pick these up just to sell them. They can be upgraded through crafting. The main use, though, would be, I assume, would be for deconstructing them, but they don't yield much inspiration and rarely yield usable resources. But this is in addition. These are coming from weapon racks primarily, so that particular location of getting them, previously you couldn't get anything at all out of the weapon racks, etc. So
Yeah, I found them on tables too.
I have seen them in different locations. I'm not certain if they are replacing any other items. Well, like I said, on weapon racks, they're definitely in addition to
Right.
anything you would normally have found in dungeon.
And you
Maybe
find
that's bringing us closer to the Skyrim feel.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that's the
Yeah.
intent of it, to
That's
make it
good.
more like Skyrim.
It also gives a good benefit for new players when they, new characters are just made. They don't have to get stuck with one or two things that they might catch from Cold Harbor. As soon as they get out of that world, they see something on the ground, they can pick it up.
Yeah.
Correct.
Very,
We
very
also
true.
have improved interior lighting, and this is really something to be seen. Going to a cathedral, some other place with a stained glass or some windows, and
It
you can
almost
definitely
makes
see
me
the
want
sun
to play.
streaming through. It's
Behold the
beautiful.
beauty.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't put in the notes, I believe, is that they did do a graphical improvement overall on this patch. And I heard guildies and everyone talking all about it all the time. Oh, everything looks so awesome. I did notice that my armor's more shiny,
Yeah.
Yep.
so
Huh.
almost blindingly at some points.
Hey, Joe, there's one thing that on the improved lighting and the should be mentioned is
Yeah.
that because I know that I think it was Valkov and I both, we were like looking for it right when the sun was coming up and it wasn't showing up, and you had said something about it's the angle, and stained glass lighting, the lighting that's cast from it inside the building is actually following the sun, and this is awesome to watch. So when the sun just first comes up, if you're in, let's say, the Daggerfall Cathedral, you don't really see anything yet. But as the sun starts to go up in the front of the building, the stained glass that's over the door casts down onto the floor, and then as the sun goes over the building, and in the afternoon, it comes back from the pulpit. It's really nice to look at.
That's
Oh, I didn't
sweet.
realize it was dynamic. That's awesome.
Yeah, that I was going to say
That's what I figured it was, because they have a dynamic day and night system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool just to do like a little time-lapse video of that.
That
Yeah.
would.
That would be cool.
Alrighty, that's a very good point, Steve. Thanks. Light jerkins. Those of you who are tired of looking like girls running around in your light robes, rejoice! Light jerkins are in the game now, so you can look manly again.
I kind of like the updraft in the. Never.
It breathes more.
What can I tell you?
I did make a light jerkin for my sorcerer alt, and I was very happy. I didn't have to wear robes. What do you guys think of him? You seen him?
Yeah, I like the option for sure.
All right, that was very insightful.
I haven't really tried, I haven't tried the different styles of like Perkins yet, so I can't really give you a comprehensive, review of the appearance. But what I've seen, the one that I saw was definitely
Vince, I was
nice.
just messing with you, buddy.
I know.
Easy.
Oh, well, what's next, Vince?
Oh, only 30 years can tell you that.
Right?
Yeah.
And you know he's easy how?
Yeah, like I said, only 30 years can tell you that.
That was another bad joke. Never mind.
Yeah,
Vince,
I know,
what's
I
next
know.
on the list?
We can't go there. Solo versus group content callouts. Yeah, that actually, in my opinion, is one of the greatest things they did this content update. I love the fact that I know now when I walk into a dungeon that it's group instance instead of solo. I don't know how many times I walked into something and got my butt kicked and didn't realize that that was actually for a group. I've done that. That's brain fart number 922.
It yells at you, "Hey, noob, don't come in here alone."
Yeah, don't come in here alone. It's scary.
Those spiders,
Now you know.
they will eat you.
Yeah, all doors and loading screens will now tell you what type of instance you're about to enter. So that, to me, is a wonderful update.
Yeah, even the little minor things that always make the difference.
Yeah.
One thing, guys, you want to check out is they did a lot of class fixes. There is too many to highlight here. Most all of them were buffs for your characters, especially Rejoice if you play a Nightblade or a Templar. They got the biggest helping hand, if you will. Dragon Ice got a little bit of a minor nerf. Our little talons that comes out of the ground, the morph stage of it where it does the damage over time effect got taken down. Which I was a little bit sad. I shed a tear over that, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I will live. Well,
We'll
I
get
didn't
over it.
live.
Still a very, very powerful class.
Yeah, I love it. I'm a DKer.
Yeah.
Can't help
Same
it.
here.
Even though I get my butt handed to me literally all the time soloing in veteran content, but that's beside the point. There were a ton of bug fixes, guys, and there's no way in the world we were going to list any of them. There's too many.
Yeah.
Vince, what else I got here, buddy?
We got veteran dungeon bosses will now drop loot down to veteran rank 1.
Nice.
And They updated the coloring of racial motif books so the color better represents their rarity. So the playable race motifs, the more common ones, except Imperial, those are blue. The NPC race motifs, so these are the rare ones. These are the ones you get at Veteran 1, 50 plus and 50 plus plus content. The Primal, Barbarian, Ancient Elf, and Daedric, those are purple. So you can quickly see, these are the rare ones. These are the valuable ones.
Oh my god, Vince, guess what happened last night? Guess what happened last night?
You got one.
You got one?
I got a Daedric!
Oh!
All right.
I scared everybody in TeamSpeak.
He did. That's right. I nearly jumped off my seat.
Hit control. Oh my gosh! There's a Daedric
I suppose
heart.
this means. Sorry.
Yeah,
I suppose this means that some of these books are going to be things people are going to want to hold on to. After they apply them and use the motif, they're going to look for another one to hold on to as a rare.
Yeah, or try to make a whole lot of gold from it.
Yeah, they're going to sell for a lot.
Either way you look at
The
it.
Imperial one is now gold, so the Imperial one will stand out.
Yeah. I bought Barbarian. I bought that one for 10k off of somebody. I was given Ancient Elf by a really awesome guildie. And then I found Daedric, so I'm just missing Primal. And I go through every single house, in every zone I can find, in every Ebonheart Pact area, because that's where Primal drops the most. No, Primal drops mostly in the 1 through 5 veteran content. So that's where I gotta look for that one more. You'll mostly find the Barbarian and Primal in the 1 to 5 veteran content, and the Ancient Elf and Daedric in the 5 to 10 veteran content. That's where they have the highest chance. You can still find them on low levels, but it's even more rare to do that than at the higher levels. But they are still, one thing that was not listed in the notes is they did lower the rarity, even more so on this patch. They didn't put that in the notes, but they're even more rare than they were by a little bit.
So actually, gotcha.
So when I found Daedric, I was like doing happy dances around my room. So
Yeah, even before they were quite rare.
yeah, and the Imperial racial motif is gold. They made that one even more rare. So yeah, what's up? What's next, Steve?
Okay, the next one is inviting player characters into a large group or in
That makes
different
sense.
zones no longer cause desyncing issues or disconnection in the game. This is a very big one for me, especially for anyone who plays AVA. Making sure everyone's in the right campaign, actually in Cyrodiil itself, before you invite them to the party, was becoming a big issue, because if they weren't, there was a chance that it could randomly disconnect some folks from the party. If you invited someone who, say, was in Glenumbra when you were already in Cyrodiil. So I'm hoping that this has taken a huge step to preventing that kind of disconnect.
I agree.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Next, Vince.
Okay, guild store improvements. You can now filter by vet rank. And weapons and armor can now be filtered by traits and other things.
I love
So,
this improvement, by the way.
Yep, makes it a little more useful for the guild stores.
Try searching for guild level or vet rank stuff in guild stores. When you weren't vet rank, it was a nightmare and a half. You had to go through all the different levels. You couldn't just type in like V1 or V2 and like little level search. It was annoying as sin. I was so happy they made this.
And the crafters will also appreciate that they improve the chance at Tier 3, the woodworker, blacksmith, and clothier hireling. So if you invested the skill points and taken them up to their max level, you'll get at least blue level improvement materials now. So it's just a guaranteed minimum they put onto those for your daily mails.
Yeah, there was guildies complaining they were getting TAWs, which is the white quality
I know.
runes.
Getting them or
Multiple
just some, white grapes or something,
Yeah. Yay! Thanks. You're fired. Any other anything else about the patch that you guys really enjoyed that's not listed here?
Oh, there's so much to say.
Yeah, I mean, the bug fixes are always appreciated. There were a lot of them. Possibly the most bug fixes in any patch they've released to date. I didn't actually count them, but I know it was a large amount.
Yeah, that's why I said there's no way I was going to list them.
Oh, yeah.
We've been sitting here listening it for about 2 hours, and they fixed this, this, and this to now do this, and they fixed this and this to do this. Yeah, not happening. All right, so that's it for the news this week. If you guys want to check out the entire notes on what really went down, there is a link at Elder Scroll. Well, in the forums, don't they have it when you're on the login screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On your login screen, it will contain the patch notes right across the top
There you go.
of the launcher.
All right, so we're going to go into one of our week in game, and I'm going to pick any, mini, miny, mo, Fred, you're it.
Oh boy, great! That's good to know. We're going to talk about my week. Baranon started out in the Alkir Desert. He's only about level 37 at that time when I started this week, and I couldn't stand it. And Alkir Desert, no matter which way you go, it's sand. So I couldn't wait to get out of there. And fortunately, the beginning of this week, he found his way into Bankerai, and talk about a diversity in graphics. I mean, I love that zone. No matter which way you go, there's something different. There's rivers, there's forests, there's, of course, desert. But beside that, he found his way into Evermore and took out the Imperials and helped them manage the Reachmen. I don't want to get into too much because obviously there could be people who have haven't gotten there, so I don't want to give away too much. But by the time the week ended, he's now up to level 44 and in the southern Badlands of Bankerai. He's having a great time. He's enjoying himself there, though it's tough. The further along he's gotten in the southeast section of Bankerai, he's finding it tougher and tougher as he's going along. There's a lot of 3- and 4-man groupings there, but it's doing well. He also has had the pleasure of making it in provisioning from level 20 to level 50 in one hour session. I love that.
Excellent.
I have something that was right on the same.
Thank you to a couple of great. What's that?
We are provisioning brothers this week because I went from 15 to 50 in 46 minutes flat just before you did.
Oh, and it's not hard, folks. And just so you know, the little tip: what I did is I had about 150 pieces of venison, and I had some help from a couple of my guild mates, Zandy and Lord. These guys got me some cooking fat and some other pieces, broth and milled flour. That's what you need is those secondaries. I had none of that. I couldn't find any. But getting that was enough to get me going, and I was able to go all the way up to 50, and it was done within an hour.
Here, Bambi. Here, boy.
Yeah. Get all that gear that's out there. I mean, God, we got to use it for something. Otherwise,
exactly.
It's just, also, here's a little trick I found, and I told somebody, and they got really mad at me, so I thought I'd broadcast it. I don't know if you realize it, but the Harborage is actually a way shrine.
I didn't realize that.
If you're at a way shrine anywhere, or even anywhere on your map, and you need to go to the Harborage to do the quests, you can actually travel there, right to the Harborage.
That's a valuable trick. I wish I would have known like 2 weeks ago when I was Veteran 5 and just figured it out.
You're gonna be mad at me now too because I didn't say it to you earlier.
Yeah, it's your fault, Fred.
Be aware, folks, for those of you who are still doing your main quest, that at any time you need to go to the Harborage. You can click on it, and you'll see that it is a way shrine that you can travel to it.
Not
so
to mention
there's my little trick of the week there for you.
Not to mention that it's quicker to use the Harborage to get to the bank.
That's also true because it'll take you right by the edge of the bank and also the
Daggerfall
crafting area and everything else.
Yeah, keep in mind though that's only if you're Daggerfall.
Correct.
That's correct. But I mean, it's if you're looking to get to the Daggerfall Bank or any of that area, it takes you to that end of Daggerfall instead of going to the Way Shrine, which is the other side of Daggerfall.
And just so everybody knows, all 4 of us play Daggerfall, primarily.
Yeah, that's also true. We don't play, unfortunately, AD or Evanhart. Yeah. No, that's the way our guild is. So.
Daggerfall Pride.
That's right. Take it or leave.
Speaking of little tips and tricks, since Fred got us on that roll here.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
I got a little tip and trick for you guys as well. This is our tip and trick segment. Elite Public Dungeon Achievements. If you guys want to make 110 achievement points fast, the Elite Public Dungeons is the way to do this. And what those are is, that, you have public dungeons all over each zone, indicated by that torch. The torch with the plus symbol is the Elite Public Dungeon, which requires you to have a group of 2 to more people. And it has unlimited amount of people you can take in there. So you can do a large group of 20 if you wanted to. Or 2 or 3 people. It's up to you. But don't do it alone. Especially if you're a veteran, don't do it alone. Reason is, there are 3 achievements you want to do. And one of them will give you a skill point every time. Well, the ones that work. There's a couple that are bugged, but they're getting them fixed. If you complete the achievement, I was told by ZeniMax, you will get the achievement point when they fix that particular problem. So, if you go into your journal, you go over to your achievements, which is the 4th tab to your right, go to Dungeons and Public Dungeons, you can see all the Public Dungeon achievements right there. Those are for all the public elite dungeons. The Conqueror is the big one. The Conqueror requires you to kill every champion in the dungeon. Now, the Conqueror, there are different amounts of champions in each dungeon. Some of them do not have Conqueror. The most do. And most of them, if they have Conqueror, will have the Slayer achievement. The Slayer achievement is killing 3 of the champions. That's worth 10. The Conqueror is worth 50. Reason is, it's going to take you a while to make sure you can get all the spawns, because they spawn anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes apiece. So that can be some time to get all the spawns down and get everything killed. The one that's the critical one you want to do, and each and every single public elite dungeon has this, that is the challenge, the group challenge event. There is one point in each one of these dungeons that you have to trigger an event. That usually includes a boss at some point during the event. Once you complete that event, you'll get an achievement for completing it, and you will get a skill point. That one is also worth 50 achievement points. And just a little tip, guys, from an insider. Start hoarding your achievement points. They will become very useful in the near future. I cannot say why or how, but trust me, you're going to want them. So get them. And this is one of the best ways to do it. I went from 2,200 achievement points to over 4,000 last night doing these 3 achievements in the public elite dungeons. And lastly, and my last little tip for you guys, for those of you who are just starting out, there are 2 skill points that should be in the first 10 skill points that you spend, a must. They will save you time and effort and a lot of headaches. And that is the Persuasive Will. Once you get Mage's Guild, get the Persuasive Will skill unlocked. It's a passive. And for Fighter's Guild, Intimidating Presence. These will allow you to skip massive portions of quests, and they don't take away from the story when you skip it. So those are my 2 recommendations.
They make it easier.
Yeah.
They definitely make it easier.
You say could have some fights, etc.
Yeah, they definitely make
more
it
options.
easier.
And usually, guys, you get some funny responses when you start doing like Intimidating Presence on people.
Oh yeah, that's great.
So those are my tips. The hosts will do their own little tips as we progress through the episodes. So stay tuned for that every week. You can also send in your tips and tricks to us via our email, and we may spotlight it. All right, it is time for Steve to regale us with his week in game.
Okay, so here's the deal for me. Mine's a little bit different because after 3 months of the game being live, I've been concentrating on guild management and building up my crafting characters. So I've settled down and the game's gone through a couple of updates and major updates and stuff like that. I've decided to go out there and actually create my main. So Gravelox now exists in the game. Yes.
Hooray!
Excellent.
Gravelox is a Bossmo Nightblade Archer. I've been really playing Dragon Knights up until now, and I've decided to branch out. Of course, I did the thing that everybody really should do is a little bit of research, and I found that Nightblade is really one of the best recommended classes to use for archery. So I went out and created that. And so my week in game really was about 7 hours of playtime total, broken up between 2 days. I chose Siphoning, Strife, Poison Arrow, and Provisioning. And I have a little thing where I feel that every character should have some level of provisioning ability. So And that's because of my crafting background. But if you're out there, this way you could make your own food. You don't have to worry about relying on other things, or if you forgot a buff or whatever. The food ingredients are pretty much everywhere, so you can always do that. In any event, what I'm going to be doing in the weeks to come is allowing you guys to follow along with Ravalox's journey up from Cold Harbor all the way going through the zones. And I'm going to tell you what I experience as I go through it. So far, I've completed Cold Harbor. And when I say completed, I am a completionist. So I have raided every single crate, every barrel that's out there, and gotten over to Daggerfall. And, of course, I took the Boatswain back over to Stros M'Kai, which is where I am now. I've already gotten up to, I think it was level 8 in provisioning because of my collection efforts. And my character is just about level 6. So I will keep you guys updated on how I do, and tips that I find as I go along with it.
Dude, that's awesome. That's actually great for the show. I like that a lot.
That's a great idea.
Well done,
But,
Steve.
I think it's time for a joke. What do you guys think?
Oh, great.
Yeah. Hey, Vince,
Hmm?
I ever tell you that I can never play a Khajiit?
Never play a Khajiit? Why not?
No, I'm allergic to cats.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Hey, the other day, Baranon I was telling you, he just reached Bankerai, and he was in Evermore, and after taking out all the Imperials and whipping out the Reachmen, of course, Evermore he was the hero of, and he was walking around feeling his oats, and he noticed this guy leaning up against the side of a building, and leaning down, looking obviously beaten up a little. He walked up to him and he said, "My friend, what's the problem?" And the guy looked at him and he said, "Well, I happened to be walking down the street, and suddenly this man just whooped up on my back and hit my head. And now all I could do is see spot in my eyes." And Baranon looked at him and was very concerned. Just didn't know what to say, but "Did you see Healer yet? Have you seen any healers?" And the guy just looked at him kind of weird and said, "No, just spots." And on that note, I think, Joe, you should take it over.
That's horrible.
What can I tell
I was sitting there waiting for the punchline for a second. I was sitting there waiting for the punchline. I was sitting there and it hit me. Oh gosh, that was a punchline. I feel like a noob.
What can I tell you, newbie?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Since I'm on that kind of a cheerful mood, I'm going to go ahead and play our special of the week. This is from Callie Max and myself performing for you guys right here, right now, the Lusty Argonian Maid. Elder Scrolling Online is proud to present The Lusty Argonian Maid, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 1, Act 4, Scene 3. We join the lusty little maid herself, Lys Hertel, entering the chambers of her master to clean it. Crantius Colto.
Certainly not, kind sir. I'm here but to clean your chambers.
Is that all you have come here for, my little one? My chambers?
I have no idea what is you imply, master. I am but a poor Argonian maid.
So you are, my dumpling, and a good one at that. Such strong legs and shapely tail.
You embarrass me, sir.
Fear not, you are safe here with me.
I must finish my cleaning, sir. The mistress will have my head if I do not.
Cleaning, eh? I have something for you. Here, polish my spear.
But it's huge! It could take me all night!
Plenty of time, my sweet. Plenty of time. End of Act 4, Scene 3. Volume 2, Act 7, Scene 2.
My goodness, that's quite a loaf! But how ever shall I fit it in my oven?
This loaf isn't ready for baking, my sweet. It has yet to rise.
If only we could hurry that along, how would I accomplish such a task?
Oh, my foolish little Argonian maid. You must use your hands.
You wish me to knead the loaf here?
Why, of course.
But what if the mistress catches me? Your loaf was meant to satisfy her appetite.
Don't fret, my delicate flower. I'll satisfy the mistress' cravings later.
Very well, but I'm afraid my oven isn't hot enough. It could take hours.
Plenty of time, my sweet. Plenty of time. End of Act 7, Scene 2. This has been a presentation of the lusty Argonian maid.
Yeah.
Everybody give a hand to Callie.
Hooray,
Well done,
Callie.
well done,
That's
well
the
done.
way
Great
to
job,
go.
Callie.
Well done. Good job.
And I accidentally hit my off button, but oh well. Anyway, that was the Lusty Argonian maid. I hope everybody enjoyed that. We might be doing little tidbits here and there for you guys throughout the episodes and the weeks.
We got such great actors and actresses amongst us.
It's huge. Callie's now never going to live that down in the guild.
No, she's not.
No. She's going to walk into
Everybody's going to
TeamSpeak.
be walking around every time they see her now, and especially in TeamSpeak, and expecting her to talk like that.
So, Callie, do you think this sword is huge?
Or is it very huge?
Oh, great. Vince, how was your... I'm going to get a segue way out of that right now. Vince,
Yeah, I
how
think
was
so.
your week in game?
Okay, well, my week went very well. I have a few alts. You know, I've been focusing on crafting on some of my alts. But my main character, Karaneth, he's a Breton Templar. He mainly uses the Destruction Staff. He also uses the Restoration Staff as secondary. Well, he finally hit Veteran Rank 1 this week, so that was a
Hooray!
big deal for him.
For Kyle.
Thank you. So I'm in Cold Harbor, so I've been...
Oh, wait,
I
I
don't want to reveal
missed, I
too
missed
much.
it.
I don't want to give
missed
a
it.
I
spoiler.
think he's rushing, you know.
I missed it. Hold on. Say it again. One more time. You did what?
I hit Veteran Rank 1.
All right, there we go. I'm sorry. I missed my cue.
You're forgiven. So I'm in Cold Harbor now, so I've been working toward reestablishing a city there, and I found that type of gameplay was really rewarding. You know, I really wanted to put the effort in and make this city as strong as I could and return it to its former glory, and been working on that. I went in did a couple dungeon runs with some guild members. So the dungeon there in Cold Harbor was definitely quite interesting. We had a great time in there.
Oh, I
And
love
then I
that
found
dungeon.
myself, not once, but twice, trying to save the life of someone that we probably all know by this point in the game. He's a gentleman named Stibbins, and his compatriot, Lady Laurent, is always getting the two of them into deep trouble. So they're almost like a comic relief here for ESO. You'll find them in almost every zone out there. You'll find their story. And I have a little letter here from the Stibbins, so I'm just going to relay this one letter that I found on the ground. It definitely made me laugh, so I hope you'll get some humor out of it as well.
Okay.
So Stibbins says, one of my Daedra captors has started making advances toward me. I assure you this behavior is entirely unreciprocated. I have tried to be a gentleman about it, but she is quite insistent. A timely rescue appears increasingly desirable. I wonder how poor Lady Laurent is holding up. I do hope she is all right. Her clothes must be horribly wrinkled by now. Signed, Stibbins.
Jeez, he's strange.
A little bit
He's-
off.
Yeah, he's a little bit off, and so is Lady Laurent. And it's funny because back in Daggerfall, I tried to foil their plot, and unfortunately, they're still kicking around. So begrudgingly,
You know,
I'm saving them.
Stibbins is actually quite sane compared to Codwell, though.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I will say that. I have to agree. Although I do prefer Caldwell over Stibbins for sure.
He needs a new pot on his head, though.
He does.
It's
You
starting
need
to
something more
rust or
fashionable.
something. I don't know.
Oh, and I also wanted to add that I am also part of the provisioning club. I leveled from level 19, I believe, to level 50. It was about 3 weeks ago, but with some of our guildies, again with Zandy and Skunk, helped me level that sucker up, and it was less than an hour.
Good
So I
old
trained
Z.
them.
Guys got
Nice.
provisioning down to a science.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
Provisioning, conquered.
Conquered.
That's it. That's done.
Yeah. Done.
Is that what you have, Vince? Anything else, or?
Yeah, that's pretty much all for this week. I've been traveling. Unfortunately, I was away on vacation this week, so I didn't get as much playtime.
Unfortunately. Oh, good God.
All right, we had an email come in, which surprised me. I really wasn't expecting an email in our first episode, but I am so glad that we got one.
That's
And
how popular we are.
Yeah. I'm going to ask Mr. Vince to go ahead and read it.
Very well. So we got an email here from Aloha. Hey, you guys. Happy to see someone making an ESO podcast, considering that everyone who is very active have stopped their show or video series. Wish you the best of luck, and we'll try to be there, even though I'm in the European Union, and it's pretty late for me. Hope you will upload it on YouTube for the people that have missed the show, in case I can't make it. Which, of course, we're going to be doing.
Yeah, I left that first part in because I want to tell her that, yes, it will be uploaded directly to YouTube when we finish tonight. Kind of in a raw form. I'm not going to do any real major editing, but you get to see it as recorded at the video, whole 9 yards. But you will also be able to find the edited form on iTunes.
But you'd want to watch it on YouTube the way it is, because that's the way people see it live.
Well,
If you can.
the nice thing about the MP3 though is you also get the little bonus content that goes on at the end of the show that they don't get to see live.
So people watch it on YouTube, see it what it was like live, and then go look at it on iTunes and see the extra stuff too.
Well, that'll
True.
work. Anyway, the rest
Yeah,
of
I
the
think
email.
it's also handy, like for in your car, for on your commute, or during a workout, etc. It's really handy for that. Okay, so the
And
next part of her email says, anyway, here's my comment. I'm speaking about the mentoring system that I hope they will implement soon. They were speaking about something alike in the road ahead in June, but didn't give much details about how it will be implemented exactly. Best of luck for the show. Take care. So thank you for the wonderful email, Aloha.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, that was great.
Now, I saw her video that she attached to her email, and I must say she is a very lovely lady, and I would like to invite her as a guest on our show for an episode. So if you would like, please email us back, and if you want to or not want to join us for an episode of a recording of Elder Scrolling Online, let us know. But as for the mentoring system, I personally don't think it's necessary. And the reason why I don't think it's necessary is because how ZeniMax has built how the higher level system works. If I am a veteran 10 or veteran 12, for instance, and I want to go help somebody do a quest that's low level, say level 30, I can help them without them losing XP, without them losing drops. So in a way, I'm already mentoring, just at a more powerful state. Now, the only reason I could see mentoring being something that would be more interesting is if it drops you down to their level, and you can enjoy the content at the same time, at the same level, even though you already did it. But, or it could allow you to get drops as well. I guess that's another plus on it. But right now, I just don't really see a big of a need for it, honestly. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. We do enough of that on our own. I mean, in the guild, and like you said, even if I got together with you, you're a V12, I'm only 44. I don't see any big deal having your help.
Right, you don't lose XP.
I don't. So what's the problem? Nothing to it. I don't know unless they come up with something fantastic. that makes the mentoring system of value. Like a bonus XP during the mentoring system or something like that. Accelerated XP or something along those lines, which I can't imagine them doing.
Right.
I mean, I think they did an excellent job here with the system as it is in ESO. I remember when I was like level 25 or maybe even lower than that, and I went and did Wayrest Stores with one of our guild members, Lost Kudo. He was vet rank 1, and we needed, I needed some assistance there to get that done, and he gave me a hand. And even though he was VR1, helping me through this dungeon, it was a non-veteran mode. We got through it. We had a blast. I still got the full credit, the full XP for the dungeon, and it was great. So with the design as it currently stands, I don't feel that mentoring is essential. Any changes, in other words, for mentoring.
Right.
So,
but actually, again, each his own.
Yeah. And now it is actually interesting that the guilds in general are really important in this game in this manner. When you're involved in a really good, well thought out guild that's got members that are active and participating with one another, that in itself is the mentoring system, which is probably a really great segue into the next section, right?
It is. It is. I would love to do the guild spotlight. We're going to do that very, very soon. But a question in chat for our fifth hosts, our chat room, kind of got my attention really quick. I just want to go over it, just kind of acknowledge it. And they were asking about housing system. Is there any word on it yet? Yes, there has been a word on it.
Oh, you got something.
Yeah, I can't talk about it too much, and Vince knows about this a little bit too. But let's just say that they are working on a housing system. Okay, that's a definite. But here's the big but here. They want to do it correctly. And they want to make sure it's done right. So do not expect it anytime in the near future. This is something that will be coming to the game in the distant future. We could be talking year and a half, 2 years down the road.
Right.
Now, of course, the one thing that they did say is that they're aiming to do non-instanced. That's actually been published information, so that's good to know.
Non-instance housing, so that's going to be really cool. And I would rather them do it right than not do it at all.
I like that. Ramen said, "Thank God I have an itch to fill chests with skulls." It's good to have a goal, and that's a worthy goal, my friend.
That's exactly.
I think so.
I like that.
But speaking of the segue that Steve so awesomely did, and I kind of waylued, we have a guild spotlight. This is our first guild spotlight, and we didn't get any emails on it. We're going to go ahead and spotlight our guild. Yeah, self-plug there. So I'm going to let...
That makes a lot of sense.
Right? I'm going to let our guild master take it away on this. Vince?
Okay, so we are the Brotherhood of Redemption. We've been around for quite many years here. We've been around for more than a decade. I've actually been the guild master of the guild, actually since 2006 now, since our DDO branch existed. And we're about 450 members currently. We're on the North American server. We're a moderate guild. We're not too hardcore. We're not too casual. We do a little bit of everything. We're PVX. We do some AVA. We do some PVE. We have a few members, prefer to do soloing, but everyone participates in just about everything we do. We have some really interesting special events. We've had horse racing. We've had triathlons. We've had treasure hunts and all kinds of interesting, unique activities like that. We're even looking to do a fashion show soon in the future.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
See me in a bikini?
That's just going to make me stay far, far away. Yeah, I noticed that our guild usually has something going on nearly every night of the week.
Yeah, we've got quite a full calendar. We actually have an events committee, which is wonderful because all the members can chime in and say, hey, I'd like to run this or I'd like to run that. Every member has permission. They can add something to the calendar, just coordinate with the events committee, but plop it on up there, run your event. And so it guarantees that we're fairly busy there. Always something to do. And our members consist all the way from low level all the way up to VR12. We've got quite a few veteran rank members. And actually, Joe is actually starting a dedicated trials group
Yeah.
to work on that. So that's
We're
going to be
nearly
very
full.
exciting.
I'm doing it 12-man with 4 people on the offside. I'm excited to get it going. We're starting in a couple of weeks, actually.
We got a couple of TeamSpeak servers, so we got plenty of capacity there, and we just have a lot of really great, wonderful people.
Yeah, it's an awesome guild.
Yeah, okay, I have to admit it is.
Yeah.
And like Ravlock
Thanks for
said, the guild is really, in ESO, your guild is really a key part of the experience. I really feel that way.
I gotta admit, yeah, since Brotherhood of Redemption found me, I've my game has improved dramatically in my enjoyment of it, I should say. Dramatically.
Glad to hear it.
So,
Definitely.
Yeah, how can you not come in and make a triathlon?
Oh yeah,
Vince,
that triathlon was neat.
lastly, how would people find out about the guild? Where do they want to go if they want to be in the guild?
If you want to be in the guild, check out our site. We're at eso.borguild.com. That's eso.borguild.com. Check us out in our public forum area. We have an introductions thread. It's probably 30 or 40 pages by now. I'm sure it's fairly large, where you can see the biographies of many of our great members, and you can actually see for yourself, if you want to be part of this this great group or not, and see if you fit in. If so, you can apply on the site, and we'll hope to meet you in game.
Very, very good. And that was this week's Guild Spotlight. If you want your guild to be spotlighted, send us an email. And I'll go ahead and tell you the email address right now. If you have emails for us, like if you want to send in any of your questions, comments, concerns, if you want to do your own segment at the end of the show, if you want to spotlight your guild, send us in your tips and tricks. You email us at elderscrollingonline@gmail.com. That's all one word, elderscrollingonline@gmail.com. Not Elder Scrolls Online, elderscrollingonline@gmail.com.
Even if they got questions about lore, too.
Yes. If you have questions about lore, you can then say, hey, Fred, what's this about? If you have questions about crafting, say, hey, Steve, help me. If you have any other questions, we'll all figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out somehow.
If we don't have an answer, we will find one for you.
And that's because we have a wonderful guild with many great people who can assist us.
Yep. All right, what am I missing? I know I'm missing something here. Ah, yes, my play.
Yeah, we can get to that, yeah.
Well, like I said earlier, I hit VR 12. Yeah. But the thing that really caught me as the most fun I've had in a long time in the game was I went to Craglorn with a 4-man group. Craglorn is the veteran zone that recently came out, and I never, ever, ever recommend trying to solo it. Unless you are uber epic and OP in every single way, could you possibly hope to survive more than one fight. All the public dungeons, there's a lot of public elite dungeons. Matter of fact, every single public dungeon is public elite in there. And they're instanced, which means it's not like your standard public elite where multiple people can come in at the same time without being your party and destroy everything. These are instanced, which means you go in there, it's just you and your party. That's it. So they are a challenge. So bring 4 people. And I recommend taking 2 DPS, a healer, and a tank, your standard group. You will love it at that point. So we decided the whole point of this night was to go and run around just doing quests as we pick them up and going into public elite dungeons and destroying them. And I want to thank Zandy, who was VR10, CJ, who was VR2, and Christian, who was VR3. That was my group, and these guys were amazing. We had a blast. Zandy's a great healer. He kept us alive through everything. And there was, even the quests astounded me, because they were so much more in depth than anything else I saw, or more epic. Not in depth, but more epic. There's this one little random quest that you get in the middle of Craglorn, where this lady wants you to help open this giant pillar. She called it like the mage's staff or something like that. It was crazy awesome. When we got inside, it was its own dungeon, full of bosses and everything, and what we like to call the Rainbow Road. So like these floating islands, this little Rainbow Road would appear, and we had to go over to the next island. It was crazy fun. We had a blast. I think we were there for 5 hours that night, just going and destroying everything. And then all of us, except for CJ, went back the next night. We brought another DPS with us and knocked out some more quests until we ran into a quest that was just too difficult for us to manage as 4 people. So we didn't get to complete that. But during that time in Craglorn, I dinged VR12, and I will be going back with some more guildies and some people and just having a blast there. It's too much fun. And I recommend a 4-man group, mostly because the public elite dungeons are 4-man. They won't you go in with anything more than 4 people. So, take 4 people, go into Craglorn, have a blast. Don't worry about your VR level. A lot of people think they have to be high-ranked VR to do Craglorn. That's not the case. We took a VR2 as a DPS and a VR3 as a tank, and we destroyed. So, don't worry about it. Go have fun, and just have a blast there. That's what I say. That was my play this week, was just dominating in Craglorn. And I am now currently trying to gather mats and a lot of gold to try to make my uber epic armor set for VR12, which I'm going to be doing as Ancient Elf. I love that armor set. Even though I did get Daedric recently. But that was my
You
play.
might change your mind then, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I might remake my weapons as Daedric, because Daedric would be pretty cool. But I don't know. The armor for Ancient Elf looks too sexy. I can't ignore it. All gleamy and shiny.
Can't have you not looking sexy now.
Right. No, you got to strut your stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right. So
Gotta be looking good.
we are nearing our time limit here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit up our add-on spotlight. This is one that a guildie mentioned to me because I am straight DPS. That's all I play. I play ranged and melee DPS. And the add-on's called Combat Cloud. What that does is it creates a scrolling combat text that does not exist in ESO. If you ever wondered what your numbers look like when you're damaging something or what you're getting healed for, this is the add-on for you. And it's highly customizable. You can change the font, you can change the font size, the font color for everything from ice damage to fire damage to melee damage to healing to crit. You can rename crit. I did that. I made it like double the size of everything else, and it says crit with an exclamation mark. So I knew when I crit something. Highly recommend it. It's awesome. Again, that's called Combat Cloud. Just search for ESO add-ons at Google, for instance, and go through the list. There's several sites that have add-ons right now, and they're pretty easy to install, so I wouldn't fret it. Matter of fact, since I'm on the subject, I might as well go over it. If you go into your File Explorer or My Documents, you will see a file under Documents called Elder Scrolls Online. Click on that. There's a file called Live. Double click on that, and there it is, a file called Add-ons. When you download the add-on, just place the add-on directly into that folder. If it's zipped, unzip it, place that folder into your add-on folder. When you go in game, it will now be there. If you're already in game, when you place an add-on folder into your add-on folder, which that got kind of confusing right there, just type in /reload UI and it will refresh it into your system. So that,
just as a tip though, if you're there are programs too, you can use Minion or something, but we can talk about that another time.
Yeah. The also thing about Combat Cloud that's really cool is it also tells you when your ultimate is ready to use in big letters. It also tells you when you're low on mana, low on stamina, and health, which is also very nice in case you're not paying attention to that. Any other comments, guys? Anything else?
No, I think we did a pretty good job tonight.
Man, I think we actually completed a show, guys.
Yeah.
I think we covered quite a bit.
Yeah. It was a good-sized show.
Very
All right,
good.
guys. This is where we say how to reach us. But first, I want to remind everybody that we, at the end of each show, we will have more than one. But right now, we have a listener-submitted segment. This is a 2 to 5 minute segment that a listener is creating for us. And this is done by Backroth, a.k.a. Eric. And he will be doing a little segment about achievements every week. So I'm going to be playing this at the end of the show. After you finish after our little music closes out, you'll go right into him, and that will be the end of the show. If you would like to create your own 2 to 5 minute segment, feel free to do so and submit it to us via our email, which is elderscrollingonline@gmail.com. We will take a listen to it, and if it's decent, we'll throw it up at the end of the show for you. And on Twitter. Yes, this show has a Twitter. You can find us at ESOing Podcast. All one word. You can find me personally at The Widget, WIGIT. Steve can be found at Ravalox, RAVALOX. Fred can be found at Baranon ESO, BARANON ESO. Vince can be found at VN Robbins. No idea why. That's VN Robbins. And that is it for our show. We will be back in 2 weeks' time for episode number 2. Normally we'll be doing this every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. But next Sunday is 4th of July weekend, so we're going to take a break during any holiday weekend. So you won't hear us during Christmas vacation or anything like that. But we will be following up. Our next episode will be the following Sunday, which will be, let me look at my calendar, Sunday the 13th. Will be episode number 2. So we will see everybody then. Take care, everybody, and keep on bashing everything you see.
Take care, everyone.
You all have a great holiday weekend. Be safe. We'll see you the next time. And keep on playing ESO. Have fun.
And until next time.